Boom, we're live.
All right.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Julia Holly, and I'm excited about today's guest for JHC and Friends. Several of you might be familiar that I do several series, and this one's all about highlighting other creative entrepreneurs and friends who are outside of Tallahassee, and sometimes, of course, in this case, local. So Cedric Jones, thank you so much for joining me today. And before we dive in, I want to quickly introduce his short bio. And then, of course, he's a man of many talents, super entrepreneurial, very creative, and also, I would like to call it unicorn because you also have a developer background. So Cedric Jones is the visionary founder of Rezijual LC, a consultancy based in Tallahassee that he established in June 2020 with a diverse background that combines entrepreneurship, leadership development, and writing. Cedric offers a well-rounded and strategic approach to both business and personal brand development. And we're going to showcase some of his work. I don't know if we'll be able to capture all of it because he's done so much already. Also an author, right? And among other things. So thank you for taking the time to hop on and talk about your story.
I was an author first before I was anything else. I always like to tell people that because I've been writing since I've been a kid. So
that's great.
For whatever that's worth.
No, that's awesome. You got started beforehand because some people wait too long to write the story. They wait at the end. But yeah, there's something to that. Okay, so you are from Tallahassee area, Monticello, right?
Yes.
Grew up there, and then went to FAMU High, FAMU alum.
Right across the street. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So all that all came about. My family is a FAMU family, so I had no choice in the matter with that. No matter how many schools accepted me and scholarship offers I had coming out of high school. So FAMU was going to be the place that I landed. And I had a great time in FAMU, of course. Met a lot of my lifelong friends there, played sports there, everything. So I've been entrenched in that ecosystem forever.
Yeah. The FAMU family.
Yes,
so absolutely. Right? Family?
Family, yeah. And Colette. It's always a college of love and charity. So you'll see those. Awesome. You'll see those, and you'll see we brag different. You'll see a lot of different phrases out there about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I moved to Tallahassee, was very familiar. I mean, not really familiar with FSU really, to be honest, but like eventually got to know that. But then FAMU eventually discovered #1 HBCU in the country, which is huge, and getting a lot of famous people really to come to town for events. And I mean, I know Kevin Hart came for one of your events, and then you've got some amazing alumni.
Yeah. We had Stephen A. Smith was here. Of course, Will Packer is one of our more notable alums. That's more in the public sphere. But we have presidents,
Oscars, right?
Yeah, we have presidents of news, the cable news channels. We have other producers in Hollywood. We got presidents of big banks, Fortune 500 banks. It's a pretty extensive and robust alumni.
Yeah. So, and then tight-knit community that really supports each other.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we obviously brought you on, not to talk about FAMU, but really to talk about your story. But I wanted to kind of go back to where you went to FAMU. What did you major in again? It was
I majored in computer science. So I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in computer science. And I started off as a developer, moved to databases, then moved to data warehousing, which is mining now, and big data science and that kind of stuff. All the buzzwords. It's all the same stuff to me because it still flows the same way. And then I kind of moved towards web integration, and I was already designing in between all of that because I've always done that, even in high school. And then in 2010, I decided I'm not going to do this anymore working for someone. I'm going to do this solo. And then, the history but prior to that was 15 years prior to that, I was doing a lot of side work, and I had formed a business, but I wanted to start with something new. So in 2010, I started with something brand new with a brand new name, and here we are. And I've migrated from design to branding and marketing and leadership now. So I'm still in the design game. I always like to tell people it's a young man's game. Because it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of hustle with design.
It's true.
So I pick and choose kind of the design projects, but I'm more now in the focus of getting business owners to a point of clarity and working towards some kind of freedom within the business by establishing a blueprint for themselves and moving towards something that's more personal and meaningful inside of the business while they're trying to grow it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know I briefly mentioned that you started, was it Rezijual in 2020?
Yes.
Right. But then you had done a lot of other things prior to that.
Yeah.
So what got you to start Rezijual?
So Rezijual came about from the company I told you about in 2010. That company was 4 or 5 station, and basically what I did was I dissolved the company and just absorbed everything that we had in 4 or 5 station into Rezijual. So that company is still the same company. It's just that when I started Rezijual, I wanted to go on a new path of how I wanted to approach my clients and what I offered. So instead of the offering being solely designed, my offering now was I'm going to put together a whole brand culture for you, and then manage that brand, and then show you how to become a leader inside of that brand. Then it migrated to, no, I'm just going to focus on the business owner and get them to going. And then I kind of came back to, let's do all of it together. So now we got a big umbrella of nothing but brand management, leadership management, that kind of thing going on with the services that we offer. And we just came up with a new lead package that's going to be called Clarity is the Currency. And that's going to be individual sessions where we sit down and talk with business owners to work through whatever bottlenecks that they have personally, and we're trying to move them forward so that they can actually translate that into the businesses that they're running.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like everybody needs clarity.
Clarity is a new thing.
Yeah. And that's why there's so many coaches. There is a big need. There's so many business coaches, but it's hard to find really good ones and trustworthy ones. The online world is.
Well, I try to stay away from the word coaching for myself, because that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
What I'm trying to do is actually get you to a point of what's the goal, what's the purpose, why are you doing any of this stuff that you're doing, and then let's figure out a way to move. I guess it is kind of coaching, but I don't like to use the word coaching because I'm not trying. I'm not trying.
You don't want to be there.
I'm trying to shock you into, hey, you need to get up off your butt and move. I'm trying to really shock you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not filtered. It's, you need to know this. You need to know where you're going. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've basically been focusing on in this newest chapter of Rezijual.
So it's kind of like it's also guidance, or even consultants too. Along the way. So
it's all the same. I just don't like to use the word coach.
Yeah.
And I think it's because in my many travels, since I've been a head coach of football teams, I try to stay away from the language, because when I was coaching football, my goals, even though they were aligned, were a little different than what I'm doing as a consultant for business owners. It's a little different because everything's it's 1-to-1 now. It's not a team that I'm dealing with. So I try to separate the methodologies.
So how do you help? And it looks like, I think I remember you told me, in terms of leadership, you also have a book.
Yes, the Expansive method. that's a funny story of how that came about. Right. So it's a brand leadership book, and it basically is focused on four pillars of things that you need to have really strong leadership amongst your leadership and amongst all of the people that you're managing or coaching or following. All of that, they need to have these same traits, and it needs to permeate across the organization. But this funny story behind the even publishing of this book, I had my last coaching experience was in Palm Beach. Uh, I left Tallahassee in a cloud of mystery to go take this job, and nobody understood why I took the job. Even the principal at the school that I was going to didn't understand why I was taking that job. But I took the job because A, it was a challenge, and I love challenges. But B, it was a place that was lost leadership wise as far as that football program went. And I feel comfortable in saying that because it was. And so I had this packet that I used to always carry around with me, and I called it the Expansive method. I had it for about 15 years and never wrote any of this stuff down in a comprehensive way where it could become a book. And I would talk about it day and night when I was in Palm Beach, and people would look at me, well, we want to win games. We want to do this, one. Yeah, but you got to fix the organization. The organization needs fixing. It's not together. And we need to roll in some of these things, right? Long story short, which could always be a long story when we're talking. Long story short, when I left that same job under the same cloud of mystery that I left these other jobs, I came back to Tallahassee and I said, you know what? I'll show everybody that this thing is actually a thing, and it's not in the universe or in the sky somewhere. I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna document it, and that's what I did. And we got the Expansive method, and it's had rave reviews. I've already presented the methodology to 2 Fortune 500 companies. They love it, and hopefully by the fall and spring, I would have presented to both of those companies in separate workshops, because I want to talk to the leadership in a workshop kind of style. So it's not one of those things where we're trying to just hammer something home and the higher ups say, oh, this is what we're doing now, you got to do it, kind of thing. I wanted to be more of an introduction of it makes sense, but it's also common sense that you should be doing this kind of stuff, and kind of going away from the old colonial type of leadership style where it's, you do what I say, I'm going to give you these PDMs, and you're going to do evaluations every month, and this is how we're going to motivate our staff. That, some management styles have gone to the side now. It's 2025. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll go on my rant about that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, is it very similar? See, obviously sharing your book, nice and simple book design. But is it similar to if I have that you mentioned 4? Oh, this one's 5 leadership tenets.
So this is my blueprint for when I'm talking to management from the residual point of view. So this is what I call the residual blueprint. When we're talking about it, we're trying to figure out your personal choices inside of the business, your legacy and lifestyle. One is greater than the other. Finding out your why. I think I talk about systems in there, and we also talk about there's nothing wrong with the intellectual, bringing the intellectual capacity back into the fold, as well as being spiritual, but not religious spiritual, right? A more knowing yourself type of spiritual, where people get to actually, I don't know, you rediscover yourself, and then kind of you like the skin that you're in. A lot of us, that mental health is a big issue now in the world, but a lot of us are not comfortable in the skin that we're in, and we always feel as though we need to jump through a million hoops for us to get to a certain place, and that's not
like
necessarily
imposter syndrome. Like we have to prove something to people.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And you run through a lot of that.
Yeah, and adding this, because I know I'm like switching between the screens.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you have put together several series, and people who have seen some of my shows, they've seen like, oh, there's JHC's slides. But I'm so glad you took the time, because I don't usually ask guests to do this. But thanks for putting this together. So this one, is this a project you wanted to talk about a little bit?
So Sunflower Grace is a candle and scents company, and when they started, they had a product, but they didn't have packaging and labeling and that kind of thing. And we worked together and got a few ideas to get together for that. And now they have packaging and marketing pieces. We have video. We had some commercials. We did the whole workup. But it was a small company that's rising, and they have really good scents. I have some scents here. Maybe the next time I see you, I have one of the candles in my car or something. I can pull it out and show you. But yeah, it's
great.
Pretty good. Pretty big.
I mean, I'll see if I like it. I'm particular about smell, so.
Oh, you are? Okay.
No, but yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, offline we can put the website. Maybe we can put the website in the comments or something like that, and people can see it.
And then you designed this space right here?
Yeah. So this is the Carter G. Woodson Museum in St. Pete.
Nice.
When we first started working with this client, it was a mutual partnership where we would display different exhibitions in there on a rotating schedule, like 90 days, every 120 days. This was the very first exhibit that we did there because it's Carter G. Woodson. So we did a Carter G. Woodson exhibition. And if you know anything about Carter G. Woodson, he was a man of prolific writing. He wrote a lot of stuff. So most of the exhibit is text that you literally can't go through in one day and see this exhibit. You have to come back several days. And those exhibition banners and stuff that's in the middle, those stands, we did those, and we did all of the work you see on the walls and stuff. We did, yeah.
So cool. Love that. I could see like your style of design with the print and everything on the type.
Typography is always a good thing. It's great. Now this is an event planning company, and mostly I help out with visuals, the larger graphic visuals, and most of the actual brand copy. So like if there's any copy that needs to be done for brochures or any kind of pre-communications and stuff like that, that's what we do with that. So this company is huge too. Now the candle company is in Orlando. This area is in Polk County, but they do exhibitions and shows in all the major cities in Florida. So
wow,
they're out there.
I love the setup.
Yeah,
I mean, I love, like I see there's 3 different events here being. Is this the same event, or just I can see there's different?
No, it's three different events. Yeah. I just kind of put them together to show you the work back, because they literally put on all of the decorations and stuff that you see outside of the graphic elements.
Yeah,
they put all of that together.
I see. I love that. And I wanted to, because I know I jumped ahead and I should have, going back to the Montague. I think it was I want to make sure that we share, because it says here Montague collection, right? So is that part of, because when I pulled up, where is it tied to that artwork that the gallery, and I'll pull up.
So the Montague collection is one of the Okay, so we've been going back and forth with another person that owns a Black collection in the country, but it's the largest personally owned Black collection in the country.
Oh.
Okay, the
Wow.
the musicians that you saw was just another exhibition that is a part of the Montague collection, and in that exhibition, I
know
thought
this
that
is more of a blog,
yeah.
right? This one right here.
Well, that's the blog. If you click on, if you there should be something in the menu for you to click on to get to one of the exhibitions. We don't have the music exhibition posted in there yet,
Okay.
only because time. Time is always the thing.
But the reason why I brought that up is because
Yeah.
I wanted to also bring up the Melodies of Resistance. So
Okay, there you go, right there.
that you worked up on, which
that was a exhibition for Black composers and musicians, and it was for Javacia Arts, which is I think Javacia does it's a symposium type of art collective where they take younger kids who might not have access to certain things as far as music at their schools, and they get together and they play symphony orchestra and symphonic type music arrangements. So we wanted to do an exhibit that paid homage to Black composers, and the more I started researching this, I didn't even scratch the surface with the amount of work that I did.
Wow.
Because we're talking about in the thousands prior to 1960. That's how many Black composers there were, and you don't get to see much of that history. But these are all facsimiles of what I thought they would look like in a modern rendition of what they would look like as far as the art will go. So,
and not to interrupt you, sorry, but I want to make sure it's clear to the audience that you put these together. Like you designed these.
Yeah, I physically did
those.
Yeah.
But there isn't, some touches of AI, but you still added your personal designs and you composed it.
Yes.
Color design and everything.
Yeah.
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 So,
that was a fun project, and we still add more to those. So there'll be I think we have something like 20 something of them now. So there'll probably be double that by the time next Black History Month comes along.
That's so cool.
Hopefully there'll be some more.
And then these photos or images were generated with the prompts that you put.
Yes. Now, prompting, and we talked about this on an offline conversation once, I remember, but prompting is it's not a hard thing to do, but it's very fickle, right? And this is the reason why I told you I've been focusing more on intent more than what the prompt is. So the prompt gives us, it's kind of like a temporary vehicle to get someplace to where we want to go. But we can write that same prompt in several different engines and you'll get something totally different. Right? Because the image generation is totally random too. And people don't understand that. It's like, oh, I want to create that same picture. You will never create that exact same picture because it's a random picture according to the prompt that you gave it. But when it comes to things like jobs, doing stuff like update emails and things like that, or writing copy or any of that kind of stuff, with AI can do that as well, but it's still always subjective, right? You'll never get the same tone, the same text. You'll never get all of that the same way 2 times in a row. So the industry now is going more towards intent and building specs for things like AI engines and not engines, AI
agents.
Agents,
Yeah.
I don't know why I was saying engines, but agents, and anything else that's using agent type logic. Intent is going to be the bigger. Is going to be the bigger skill set going forward for anybody that's listening to the podcast that wants to get into it. Start learning how to create intent specs for these agents, and you'll have a leg up on the competition.
Wow. I mean, like those are a lot. It might have helped you save some time not having to do the actual like artwork and painting.
Oh yeah. Well, so I can so
it's still beautifully done and
short history on that. I do paint.
Oh, that's why.
But you have to. But time. Everything comes back to time. So if I have an exhibit, say I got an exhibit 30 days from now, there's no possible way I can get enough artwork up to do that. And if we don't have the artwork to present this exhibit, it should not stop me from telling the story. I should still be able to tell the story. I'm just giving you different visuals, and no, you don't have a picture from 1917 stuck in some thing that you can't touch because it may break up because it's so brittle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it was really cool. You can, I mean, not only like, it's almost like maybe I'm guessing that you prompted the way that they were sitting, or
so
they were all in different types of,
So that's a different thing too. With those, it's their time period pieces. So you have to know the time period, the clothing, maybe something that they may have worn. If you have a picture image reference, you can use an image reference. There's a lot of things that go into that. And then it's the type of strokes you want for the artwork. Do you want it to be illustrations? Do you want it to be a paint stroke? And so there's a lot of things that go into it. But that's the easy part. The hard part is the output, right? Because you see the pictures that I come up with, I may have 60 or 70 different iterations of that same look that I was looking for, and I didn't get until 71. Right. So it's still time. I think coming from an artist background, coming from a design background and programming background, I think all of this stuff is great. It's a lot of people that poo-poo on it because, oh, it's not original, it's not purist, it's not this. But photographers said the same thing when photography was all developing film in the dark room, and nobody wanted to use digital. It's not pure. Not everybody has a digital camera, even the babies. So I just think it's like that. You make the art. There's a place for all art. I think.
I mean, and I think
all creativity.
Right. Well, I think this is a great example of a good use of art with AI and design, and a lot of your like talents have like, really executed well in this showcase. And then you were able to feature it during like some orchestra, right?
It was one of her events, one of the founders' events for Direxia. This was at the AC Hotel. They had a awards banquet. It was the first awards banquet. So this is going to be a yearly thing. So I probably will be featured in there somewhere again at some point with the collection. I don't know what I'll do this time around. I don't know if I'll do the same exhibition or something different, but it went well. I mean, the feedback was great. Tallahassee is a town with a lot of cultural. It's a robust cultural environment, but we don't have a lot of robust stuff going on. Enough stuff going on to showcase that. And there's some famous musicians that come from this area, so it shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think I'm horrible with names. But he recently just won. Didn't he win a Grammy? I think he has like a whole orchestra. Anyways, I know.
Yeah, we don't want to.
It was jazz.
Let's not go on the trivia show because we won't win the prize.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously everybody knows about T-Pain.
Yeah. But it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of musical influence that comes from this area, and jazz especially.
Well, and also, okay, let me make sure. It's funny. There's this little thing that I keep doing, but sorry about that. So you put this here.
Code and philosophy. Okay, so that is the beginning of my experimentation into a little bit of everything about my writing. Okay, so I have separated a lot of my writing in the last, I guess, 10 to 12 months, maybe 10 months. My stuff that I write that's fiction and nonfiction. And then I have short stories. I have a whole different animal with my political thoughts over in Substack, and I do a lot of writing about futurist type stuff too, and a few of my blogs. But yeah, that's an experimentation into it's a future based type of concept, but it's my experimentation into what does that future look like with AI and quantum, using my writing as to catapult those thought processes, and that'll be coming pretty soon. But right now, I write under Code and Philosophy on Substack. So
awesome.
That's my Substack name.
And you have, thank you for sharing your clients too, some of the partners and clients that you've worked with.
Yeah.
And then some brands you've also started, right? I believe True.
Yeah. So True is one of the brands that I started, and there's another one on there, Power 10 up in the corner. So True, you know about, but it's eventually will become a whole fashion brand. But I'm leading off with a bunch of outerwear, streetwear type of t-shirts and hoodies and crop tops for the ladies. So eventually everybody will be introduced to True, but their first introduction will be the t-shirts and the streetwear type of scene. And that's actually doing better than I thought it would. Just by just sitting at my table on the high chair where you see me all the time when I'm sitting and drinking coffee. People know about it, but yeah, that's been doing really well.
You mentioned writing a lot, so of course it makes it appropriate your next thing.
Oh yeah, all of my books. So I put this page together for you because, of course, I wanted to stay on task because I know I've been known not to. The expansive method, of course, we talked about, but the books I'm working on now that I think will be of major use to the generations coming behind us is the Be So Good They Gotta Hate You, and the Grit Don't Ghostwrite, and the Skill Level Unknown. And they are all kind of like autobiographical, but they're also good good rule books for younger people now to kind of go by, and it actually demystifies all of that corporate speak and all of the things that they may see in their corporate worlds or entrepreneurial worlds that can safely, get them home, but in my way of writing. And the way I write is mostly tempo. So everything you read will sound like you're listening to some music. Because I always have headphones on. I used to wear my big ones all the time, but I think that kind of scared people. So I put my buds in, but I still have my big ones. And when I'm writing, everything is tempo based. You can tell it in my writing, especially in my nonfiction. In the fiction, is more romantic type of stuff going on in that. But in my nonfiction, you can really tell that I'm listening to something because it's always that kind of tempo. And I decided I wanted to write something for a younger generation because I wanted to get the people started reading again. People don't read a lot anymore. They have to get their stuff 30 seconds at a time, 60 seconds at a time,
right.
Instagram or TikTok, and it gets to be a little much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have some audiobooks. I think I remember you mentioned you.
Well, I was getting ready to. I haven't started. I haven't finished them yet.
I know, because I was like, I'm more of an audiobook person.
Yeah. So that's next up on the list.
That's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, well, thank you so much. My goodness. I know we barely scratched the surface because you've done other things too. You've shown me some of your AI related projects that you're working on. We're not going to try to disclose anything yet until it's actually, but I really thought it was cool that you've thought of like putting together AI or evaluation calculator.
Yeah, no clock. So yeah, and that may or may not be the name when it actually is launched, but that is, we talked about what is what's a fair price, or how do you charge? We talked about budgets earlier. No clock seeks to go out and says, okay, you're going to pay me for the value you're getting. We're not going to start doing this hourly.
Right.
We may have to sign a contract, okay, but the contract is going to be based on the expertise and how soon you can get this back to you, these kind of things. So you cut out all of that micromanagement or the nickel and diamond, and you're getting paid for your real value and talents. So that's what No Clock tries to address in that. And I'm also getting something together too for that spec stuff that I was telling you about earlier, with doing the intent economy instead of the prompt economy.
Yeah.
I'm also working on something with that as well. So that's more feasible than the No Clock, because with No Clock, you got to convince your clients now that this is how the new billing is going to work. So that will be more of a gradual thing with No Clock. But I think that the specs thing, I think that works right out of the box, because everybody's doing it. Prompt engineering is dying down as a
already
a job skill. And I mean, you need to have it. You need to have it as a skill, but it's not in demand as much as it once was, because of how it's being flooded with all of the templates and all that kind of stuff.
I remember
it's just drying up now.
Yeah. I remember maybe a year or so ago when we were talking about prompt engineering to be like a role, and technology is moving so fast, and now it's not a thing.
Yeah, I even wrote
what's the new one now?
I even wrote a couple of ebooks for that, and as soon as the ebooks were out, I could tell that it was dying down.
Yeah.
But it's still something. It's still, prompt engineering is still good to know. It's just not going to be the end all be all when this is said and done.
Yeah. And right now it's I guess all about AI agents, or how do these things apply and things like that, because it's just moving way too fast. So I'm glad I'm not trying because I'm glad that we bumped into each other at Starbucks. Like that's how, we didn't mention this, but that's pretty much how we meet really cool people.
Right.
It's coffee shops.
Right. Coffee shops are great.
Yeah. They're really like secondary affordable co-working spaces.
Right.
We all have our offices still. I've met several founders who still use coffee shops as their
the office is cool. I guess when you want to do some larger projects and you need to really spread out, it's cool. With a coffee shop, for me, a lot of people don't know how I can work in a coffee shop because they say there's too much stuff going on. But I love it. I love all of the action. The action is great for me.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
Now it helps me plug away and focus. Of course, like I have my office here and I can plug away and focus in a different way. Yeah. But there's something about just being with other people also hustling and working. They say, peers. You see other peers. It's kind of like going to the gym. You see other people working out.
Yeah.
So exactly. No, I know like we had some flexibility in our 30-minute interview. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun. We should do this.
I know.
We should do this again.
I should have like a part 2 series for several guests because I know like we can definitely go further than that. So I've been sharing your handles. Make sure for anyone who wants to reach out to Cedric, he's really approachable. You can just also go to his favorite Starbucks on Blairstone.
I'm always there, and
In
I'm
Capital
open,
Circle.
open for conversation. Yeah,
That's his office. You can just walk up to him, say hello, and talk about entrepreneurship and leadership. And yeah, so for anyone who catches this episode, we love to hear from you. We would love to also, if you are interested in talking about your story, you're a creative, would love to connect with you and get you figure out which show you can be on with all my different series. So anyways, thanks again, Cedric.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? Let's end on a inspirational note. I want you to close out. I'll give you the floor and just give us your 1 minute spiel, like to those struggling entrepreneurs out there.
Well, I'll give you this. I'll just give you one quote. I always tell people that clarity is a currency. We talked about that's going to be a new thing, and you always have to understand that grit always writes your checks. You'll never get a check if you're not willing to get your hands dirty. It just doesn't happen that easy. I'll just end off with that.
That was perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cedric. Hang on for the backstage.
Gotcha.
I'll see you there.
Okay.